Hey, my name is Madison Walker and I'm going to talk to you guys about putting today. I like to use a shallow rimmed putter because I have smaller hands, but this will work for all putters and all putting types. There's a couple different ways you can hold your putter. It depends on what you prefer. I personally like a fan grip. The most important thing is keeping your thumb near the outside edge of the disc, although you will see people putting with their thumb in the middle like that as well. That does make the disc come out a little wobbly, so if you want a nice smooth release, I recommend keeping your thumb a little bit more towards the outside of the disc. Another important thing with the fan grip is making sure that you have contact with your fingers on the disc and not wrapping them into the rim too much, because you don't want too much grip on the rim so it comes out nice and smooth. The last thing is your pointer finger. You can either leave it on the outside rim of the disc like this, which gives you a nice smooth release, but I feel like I get a little bit more control by hooking that pointer finger around the edge of the disc and putting the bead of the putter in that first crease of your knuckle. That's how I prefer to putt. So there's two different methods for your putting stance. You can pick whichever one makes you feel comfortable or practice both. That's what I like to do, because you never know when you're going to need to step out from behind a tree, or you're far away and you might need to put a little bit more power from your back leg. So the first stance is, I call it a stagger stance. It's one foot in front of the other. Usually if you're right-handed, your right foot forward and your left foot back. Most people have their left foot up on a toe like that, so it's an athletic stance and you can push off and use your back leg for power. And that's the most important part in that stance. You're not going to stand here and just use your arm. You're going to use your leg and your arm at the same time. So in a stagger stance, you want to load a lot of your weight on the back and then push it forward into your putt. The other stance is called a straddle stance, and it's with your feet in line with each other. And this one, you're also going to use your legs, but you're going to use both legs at one time and push off with your arm motion. Whether you like to do a straddle or a push putt, or if you like to do a spin putt, you're still going to use your legs, but both of them at the same time. So mental game is probably the most important part of putting besides repetition. There's a lot of different methods that people use for putting mental game. What works for me, it's something that I've been working on in the past year, is trying to build a routine. If you have a routine before you putt, you're quieting your mind, so you're not thinking about a million other things. You're only thinking about your routine. And once you think about your routine over and over again, it becomes second nature, and at that point your body's ready to putt. There's nothing else it's going to be ready to do. So making a routine, everyone's seen the Nate Sexton flip. That's a routine. My routine is also, I have a little flip that I like to do. I like to line my knuckle up to the chains, and whenever I'm ready to go, after I've done my routine, it's that. Everyone's seen the Paige Pierce routine. She flips her disc and does that. Anything, those weird little hitches you see people do, those are routines, and that is why they are so good at putting. So find your routine, find your weird little thing, and do that before every single putt while you're practicing. Don't change it during the game, don't change it during your practice rounds, don't change it while you're just putting around the basket. Always do your routine. The other important part is, do not throw your disc, do not putt your disc until you've convinced yourself you're going to make it. That's important. Don't imagine yourself missing it. Don't imagine yourself donking it. Don't think about it going past and what's behind the basket. Do not release your putter, no matter how long it takes, until you've convinced yourself that it is going in, until you know that it's going in. Even if you don't know, tell yourself it's going to go in, and then it will more than likely not go in more often than you expect. I think those are the two most important things with putting mental game.